do things as a group. We come up with these ideas together, and some of them are crazy ideas, but we all bring a different skill set to the group. So these signs in particular were done by Will Bow, but we also have Renee Adams, Justin Gibbons, Howard Barlow, and so the 5 of us all kind of take something on. So building this fake wall that's behind this roll-up door was pretty much a group effort to make that happen. Punch has been around for a little while now. We're a 5-member artist collective, and we've been making art together for, gosh, probably more than 20 years now, or just about 20 years. And when Punch first started, it was a zine, which is kind of a lo-fi version of a magazine. It's like a DIY self-published arts and culture magazine in Ellensburg. And then in 2006, the 5 of us who were already making work together and showing work together decided that we wanted to be a little bit more, have a little bit more exposure for the larger regional art scene. So we decided to open a gallery in Seattle in Pioneer Square. We were all living here in Thorp at the time, and we would commute back and forth to run the gallery in Seattle. And we did that for 10 years, mounted over 110 exhibitions. It was our work, it was the work of other people. We changed our shows every single month. And in 2016, we shut that down, brought our focus back home to support arts and culture in Central Washington, particularly with an eye towards supporting rural artists and rural arts and culture. So we were doing events and pop-ups for a few years, and then we started looking for another space to get back into on this side of the mountains. And then, gosh, it was spring of 2020, the blip happened, and we were really glad we were not in a space and trying to manage that through COVID. But then at the end of 2021, we were ready to get back into a space, and so we moved into this space here in Thorp, which is the old fire station, first fire station built in the county. And one of the members of the group bought it from the fire department when they built the new fire station in the early 2000s. So we've been here a couple years now. Similar kind of model to what we were doing in Seattle. We change our shows out every month. We have different artists that we show. But what's different about this space is that we've also got this project space. It's kind of an indoor theater, indoor venue, bar space. And so we have live music every weekend. We have a big yard in the backyard with a stage. So in the summer, we do music on the outdoor stage, and year-round, we do music here in this inside space. We're basically a volunteer-based organization. We don't have any paid staff. We don't make enough money to pay any staff. And so the 5 of us do this because we love doing it. We love hanging out together. We love being creative together. We love creating a space for people to come and feel like they're somewhere different, right? It's unlike any other place that maybe they could go to, at least in Central Washington. And so I guess my favorite thing about it is being able to spend time with my friends, being able to spend time with people from the community, being able to be creative with my friends, and it gives me something to do on a Saturday that is just fun as heck. Well, we have a few real metrics that we use. We tally the number of visitors that we get. We also collect zip codes to try and get a sense of where folks are coming from. As far as advertising goes, I mean, we're pretty active on social media. We've got a website, so we promote things that way. We also get some support from the county and their tourism dollars to help us with some advertising and help pay bands when they're here and stuff like that. But whether, I don't know, metrics to determine whether or not it's successful or not. As I mentioned, we don't make a bunch of money. So luckily we all have day jobs. So money is certainly not the metric by which we measure success. I think it's probably every time somebody new comes in and they're like, wow, this place is so cool. This is unlike, anything I've seen, or the way you do this or that. Like just the fact that you just commented on how cool this facade is that we built, but we've got a giant stuffed Sasquatch inside that blows people's minds. And we always have projections and videos and cool stuff going on. So anytime, if we get just one person that comes in that is like, wow, this is so cool, like this just made my day. Like I was fly fishing on the river and we're heading back up or back down and we passed by and we wanted to get a beer, or we have somebody that was riding, we get people who are riding their bikes on the Iron Horse Trail or the Palouse to Cascades Trail, and they stop and get a beer and a snack, and they're just like, wow, this is like, you're the only thing out here. This is so cool. And so those conversations, I think, are probably the biggest metric for me as far as like, is this a good thing we're doing? Is it worthwhile? Like, why do we keep giving up our Saturdays to be here? And I think those are probably the biggest reasons right there.
Well, so the antlers, Justin Beckman had a box of these that he had ordered off of...
Two boxes
that you had ordered off of eBay for a big, huge art installation as part of your graduate thesis exhibition up at CWU in the Sarah Spurgeon Gallery on the campus of Central Washington University. And you, I don't exactly remember how they were used in the space, but in any case, you had these antlers, and we knew that they were going to be utilized somehow as we started to conceptualize and conceive of how we wanted to decorate this room. And initially, maybe we were thinking with the black walls, the black ceiling, it would be interesting to see the white antlers pinned to the ceiling and see that contrast. But it's actually, we considered that for a bit, and then we thought, well, it might be more effective and more interesting if we clustered them together somehow in an arrangement. And we had already put up these slats almost to create like a palette effect with this wood here. And we thought, well, maybe we could just concentrate all the antlers there on that particular wall. And was it a group effort? A few of us spent the better part of an hour or two just arranging them more or less haphazardly. And my wife, Renee Adams, and myself came in later that weekend or that afternoon and we just started looking at it a little more closely, and we thought, you know what, I think there's a better solution here. And so we took them all down and we thought, what if we created this empty negative space, this circular space in the center, and then we had the rest of them arranged almost like a nest. And when we thought, well, because we have these strong horizontal lines, we should follow that down here, and so kind of frame it that way in a rectangular frame with this negative nest suggestion there in the center. And periodically we rotate out what gets prominent display in the middle. Right now it's one of Will Bow's pieces.
I try and pack my days just full of things that I enjoy doing, and I think that's really important. I don't know that I necessarily have gained any wisdom with my age, but one thing that I've noticed is that life is definitely not a straight line, right? Like, we don't set these goals and then we achieve these goals and we wake up one day and our kids are grown up and we've got a house and a car and whatever it is, and then we retire and we go fishing. Like, I just don't feel like life is that way, and I feel like we can pivot at any point and do anything that we want at any time, so we don't have to be locked in to whoever we've defined ourselves to be for the first half of our life. We can always switch. I just recently discovered that Martha Stewart started her company when she was 50. I didn't realize that. I just discovered that this week. So you can become anything that you want at any time. Like, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned and the biggest takeaway I have from my life. And surround yourself with good friends and good food and travel. Those are all important things.